Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this latest Bray Wyatt update video. So we got an LA Knight segment and he wanted justice. He was demanding justice. He showed a few clips, showed him being attacked and showed the masked person in the background. Now, we've obviously done videos on that in the past, so that wasn't really news to us. But what was interesting was that Uncle Howdy interrupted. Now, the first thing that we saw, or one of the first things, was this. And this seemed to spark quite a bit of conversation. People asking who this is. And I must admit, when I first saw it, I was uncertain as well. But I believe that to be L.A. Knight. It's not the easiest thing to, make out, but I believe it to be L.A. Knight. At the moment this image is shown, Uncle Howdy asks the question, what type of man are you? And he's talking to L.A. Knight. So we did actually get a few different images of L.A. Knight, obviously heavily distorted, but we did see some images of L.A. Knight. And what he was saying was, what type of man are you? He deserves to be punished. Do it now. The door is closing. That is really, really interesting. The door is closing. We can come back to that in a second because LA Knight then did jump out of the ring to see if he could find Bray. We got this a little bit later in the show. We saw him backstage and he was looking for Bray. He went into the locker room. He found Bray's logo on a t-shirt. The lights went out. And then we got that. So here we are seeing more of this person. Now, to me, this is Bray Wyatt, right? Now, this is something that is dividing opinion. There's people saying this is Bo. There's people saying this is Rowan. I think this is Bray Wyatt. The reason why I say that is you can see the outline of his body, and it is the same as Bray. You can see the width of the shoulders. I look at that, I see Bray, to be honest. I see the outline of Bray's body, and I think the reason why it's so dark at the back is so that you can't quite see his dreads, because obviously this is a big storyline at the moment of who is attacking LA Knight, and this to me just looks like Bray. Now, there are people out there saying that Bo has been working out and he's, gotten bigger. I don't think he's got this big. I mean, I haven't seen any recent pictures of Bo. I don't think he's got this big. So to me, this really does look like Bray. The eye color is blue, but I believe that to be contact lenses. So unless we get anything dramatic from people on Twitter or any crazy theories that have some photographic evidence, for me, I think this story is one of Bray struggling with himself. We've seen a lot of imagery of Bray, and we've seen a lot of imagery of split personality. We've seen a lot going on actually in the build up to this. I think that Uncle Howdy is Bray. I think that this person is Bray. I think the door is closing is maybe an acceptance that the nice version of Bray is coming to an end. I think there's a real struggle going on within Bray Wyatt. I think there's a real darkness within Bray, and there's a real battle. And I think that the personality that we see that is the nice Bray, I think that is losing. And I think that is why the door is closing. So that's why you need to attack him now. That's why you need to punish that version of Bray now, because that version of Bray might not be around for much longer. And honestly, if that version of Bray is weakened, does that allow the Uncle Howdy character and this character, does that allow them to take over? Does it make it easier for them to consume him? So this is kind of where my head's at with all of this. There must be a reason why Uncle Howdy wants LA Knight to attack Bray. And I think it's because it might make it easier for Uncle Howdy to take over. Then we saw this later. This was Bray talking to someone. Now, what I think is quite interesting about this is there's a little bobble in the door frame, and I was wondering if that was just someone. The only thing I would say is that if you actually look at where the door handle is, it could just be the door, because it really does look like the door when it closes, and it's a really big door, by the way. It does look like when that door closes, it looks like the little bobble thing, the little bit that's sticking out in the door frame, looks like that might be for the door handle. It's the exact same height. Couldn't quite get a read as to whether he was talking to someone or not. Again, I think he probably isn't. I think there will be a big reveal, and it will be that Bray was not talking to anyone, and I think it'll be a reveal that Uncle Howdy and all of this has been Bray. Everything we've had has been Bray. I think that's going to be the reveal. He has done it before. This is a few weeks back when Karrion came face-to-face with the Usos, and we saw Bray Wyatt in the background. Again, you can see a little bit more here, because you can actually see through those crates, like in between the bottom one and the middle one. And you can see there's like no one standing there. Now, there could be someone a bit further back, of course, and they could be like behind Karrion, and Karrion could be obscuring them. But I don't know. I really don't know. I really think we might be looking at Bray talking to nobody, really. And this is him basically really struggling with himself and not quite know what's going on. So that's kind of where my head at is with everything at the moment, and I think that's kind of what we've seen tonight. I'd love to know your thoughts, though. If you think different to me, let me know down in the comments below, or if you've seen anything that's caught your eye as you've been watching the show or on social media. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and one that I think is got a few more twists and turns to come. I do think, though, it's worth noting, the person in the owl mask that we keep seeing during those Uncle Howdy segments, I do think that's Bo. I do think Bo is a part of this. I just don't think it's anything we've seen yet. I think it's the person in the owl mask. That's who I think Bo is going to be. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. The final thing I'll say is about Vincent and Dutch. I'm not sure they're connected now. I'm not sure they're connected. They were seen in NXT, and it could just be to throw us off the scent. If they've done it for that reason, I think they've done a great job, because I'm starting to wonder if they're just going to go to NXT. I'm just starting to wonder if they were there for tryouts, because there are rumors that that's why they were there. They were there for tryouts down in NXT. So that's my thoughts on that. But it could be a swerve. They could be involved, but right now, that's my thoughts on it all. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. See you next time.